friends of Cosmic Agency, my name is Gosia, and today I'm here on my balcony to introduce you to this video about the flying ships, the flying discs. Yes, it's getting warmer here, and the winter has been very long, but finally it's getting warmer and you can be here in the balcony and outside and enjoy the warmer weather, and you can see the sky and observe if you see any special UFOs like the flying discs, which supposedly and not so supposedly are among the most common seen in the skies or reported, but actually it's one of the most common ships seen in the skies before, not so much anymore, and it will be mentioned in this video. It's not a very long video, it's just a combination of different chats and different excerpts taken from the conversation with Svaru Verra in the past, also Anneka Vtemer in the past, and most recent chats with Athena Svaru. So I'm going to leave you with the video, enjoy, and I'm going to see you more or less in the middle, somewhere there, for some extra comments.
Originally in Spanish, conversation with Svaru of Erra between 2018 and 2020. Why in Billy Mayer's time, for example, the ship that has been presented was so simple, a disc so typical? So the ship that landed in front of Billy Mayer is just like some of your ships are? They haven't changed at all. On Earth, they seem to change the vehicles, but it's only the models, because they give people the technology in drips and drabs. But here, a technological level has already been reached that is difficult to surpass. It is only perfected. That is a Class 2 catalogued as a shuttle or light vehicle, 11 meters diameter. Yes, it is still in operation and has been for a long time now. There are 20 of those parked in the hangar deck of this ship, the Toleka, just now a short distance from me, among other ships of other shapes. They are used for everything. Small, low-powered ships use the discoidal shape because it helps distribute electromagnetic energy evenly throughout the hull. But maintaining that discoidal shape becomes useless as a ship increases in engine power. Beyond a certain power, the shape is inconsequential and its forms are designed according to the functions it needs to perform.
Okay, so here I'm going to make a pause and make a small comment about the flying discs that Billy Mayer reported having photographed when he had his contact with Asket and with Semyase, which, by the way, for the newcomers, for the new people, we are totally validating that contact in the beginning where he was in communication with Asket and then with Semyase. So that really happened, and it was the same team, the same, maybe not exactly the same people, but exactly the same race, and the whole contact was actually conducted from Toleka, from the same ship. So they were getting Pleiadians, and it really happened. I'm not going to go into the details of what happened later and what did not happen, but the beginning of it was real, and Billy Mayer supposedly photographed some of the ships, those flying around discs that Asket and Semyase used. So I made a question to Athena. I wanted to know recently if she can maybe pinpoint which of the photographs of those discs that he has shared are real and which ones are fake. because supposedly some are real and some are not. And this is what Athena said in this subject. It's not as black and white, and it's not as easy to actually locate which photos are real. And this is how she explains this. See it from the point of view of a human fighter pilot. Show him or her a well-made photograph of a model fighter jet, especially if it is a big-scale model, like a 1/48th, or even better, 1/32nd. I'm not sure I read that correct. So that's basically what she said about these photographs. So I'm very sorry, but we are unable to provide you with more exact data on this topic. However, she does confirm that this is how these ships look. So if it's a real photograph or not, we don't want to go into that, but they do look like the real shuttle class 2 discs. Thank you very much for this part, and let's continue now with the next part of the video. I'm not going to appear anymore, so I'm going to say goodbye at this point, and I'll see you in the next one, as always.
For us, discs do not have a practical shape. This is what happens. The metallic discoidal ones have that shape because that's the best way to distribute the electromagnetism that neutralizes gravity, because they have small motors. But a big one has a lot of power and its shape becomes irrelevant, so you only design it based on aesthetics or the use it will be given. What happens is that the discoidal ships are the most used as shuttles. They're like automobiles for us, so previously they were the ones that could be seen the most on Earth. Note that nowadays, almost nobody reports discs, very few. There are always ships in other forms. If you only use gravity cancellation, the best thing to do is to make a disc or a sphere. But if you already use plasma jets, although many on Earth will protest, those turbine engines are much more advanced than the gravity cancelling ones. Then you need to have exhausts in the back and you have a cabin in the front, and you design everything in between.
Conversation with Athena Svarou, May 2022. Now, notice that in the solid side part that looks more towards you, if you get closer, you will see 15 things sticking out in a line, some grouped in groups of 3. Zoom in closer.
Lights?
No.
Cannons? Drones? Exit?
They are class or type 2 UFOs. They are used as escape pods, like lifeboats. They are in their enclosures inside the hull, but are visible from the outside. There are also more in the hangar inside, especially the one below. Aren't they used for other things anymore? They are very resistant and interstellar, but they have an impractical shape, so they are used for rescue, rarely as ships anymore. They were replaced by more Star Trek-looking shuttles. And why did Asket and Semyase use those for the encounter with Billy Mayer? To meet expectations, I guess. But why has that expectation been created? Do you mean that other races used the flying discs a lot? Yes. They could have used a normal shuttle, but they preferred the disc-shaped ones, which are not practical. But those can reach Earth and land? They are vulnerable. They are not recommended because they use magnetic and gravity-cancelling engines only. They don't have the protection of a large plasma jet. Shuttle can also land on Earth? Yes. They would be the most practical. They are like vans. The problem is that they are vulnerable. To what? To being shot by the Cabal. They are more vulnerable than the saucer? No, they are just as vulnerable as the saucer. It's just that they don't have toroidal plasma jet engines. That's the big difference.
But those shuttles also run several different types of engines, right?
They have two combined, gravity cancelling and magnetic. It's basically the same thing. They don't have hyperspace capability, do they? Yes, they are all interstellar. But as I said before, you can go from Finland to Barcelona on a motorcycle just as fast as in a car. But is it practical? No, isn't it? If you like it, we went walking with Robert several times. You can, and it's an experience. But if you need comfort and to carry things, you'd better use something bigger. It's a tremendously common misconception on Earth to consider these things as more advanced than other ships, when in fact the others are much more advanced. Those are just cars, and they have very simple systems. They just use gravity engines, which are reliable, okay, but they can't do a lot of things. And you need that traditional disk shape because it distributes the electromagnetism they produce very well. But that disk shape is not practical at all. It is difficult to move, to store, and it is very cumbersome and has a little space inside. The disks are not more advanced. Just because they are pure chrome does not make them more advanced. People think they are more advanced because they don't have any equipment outside. They assume that it is because it is very, very advanced. But in reality, they don't see any equipment outside because they have no equipment. So their use is very limited. I don't have much experience in them. Nevertheless, that is what they use to teach cadets in flight school. They use discs at the flight academy because they are the easiest to fly and because just about everyone has one, so they are easy to find.
Yes. When I saw the designs of your ships, I also thought that they don't look anything like flying saucers. Besides, those are easy to shoot down. The discs.
Yes, because you only have to alter the readings of their gravity sensors and they fall down. And that's easy to do with microwaves like radar. They are very pretty, but their capabilities are limited compared to the proper ships.